Go.
Oh man, we gotta let everybody know we're on, man. We can't just come on like this and not tell everybody we're not on.
They'll figure it out. They all came before.
We gotta tell people we're on. Look at you guys, man. Y'all are wrong, man. Y'all are wrong. Let me do this, man.
Oh, it's streaming already. It's
already streaming, man.
I'm telling everybody, man. Y'all are wrong, man.
Well,
y'all
listen,
are wrong.
So you know what's gonna happen here? You know, okay, it's playing just fine, so everybody can see it because I can see it too. There's already 3 of us watching, and I'm sure everybody will come in.
It's
so
on. I sent the message out. The bat signal is in the air. The Xbox signal is in the air. Teknoblast, SIKSLAYER. I'm your host, the New Legal. Welcome everybody to Di-RREC Gaming.
Take two.
Take two. YouTube was down yesterday.
Horrible time.
Right in the middle of us trying to start the show, all of a sudden YouTube decided to crap on everything.
Facts. We had a horrible time yesterday, people, but we're here. We are here. And the hater gods didn't want us live yesterday, but
no, they didn't.
We persevered. How's everybody doing, man? How's y'all day been going?
Oh man, it was warm today, man. Mid 80s. 86 out here in Pennsylvania. I don't know about you guys in Texas. You probably had it like 90s or something.
I'm 82.
It's 81 right now.
Man. 82.
Oh, cool. Wow, it's even hotter up here than it is for y'all. I'm kind of surprised that actually happens. But yeah. Oh man, it's been a quiet day at work and now I'm finally here and we could finally try once again to get this show working out right.
Facts.
So
Facts, man.
I'm just gonna start where I left off the last time, talking about 20 years Xbox,
20 years, baby.
20 years. And I got phones that are still bleeping in the background.
Got the office phone going.
Drop the volume. No, not the office phone, my cell phone. Even though, I got in a call and missed it. Okay.
If it's not the office phone, it's a cell phone.
Yeah, man.
Watch his fax go off next.
Phones.
Yo, check this out. Check this out. It's the 20th anniversary, y'all.
Yes. 20.
The 20th.
Years.
The 20th.
Yep.
Yo, T. Reaper said it's beautiful out there in New York. 80.
Yeah, 80. Yeah, man. It was pretty nice out here in PA so far today. You guys saying it's pretty nice out there in Texas? I think the weather is good, and it's a good time now. YouTube is working properly. We can discuss what we wanted to discuss originally.
Yeah.
And like I said, 20 years of Xbox. That actually happened earlier in the week, if not late last week, or was it on Sunday? I forget which. But the 20th anniversary of Xbox is joining the console arena.
Yep.
Passed. Yep. And 20 years, man. I remember when the Xbox was new. I didn't get the Xbox on day one. But a friend of mine, I won't say his name, but I'll say his gamer tag, Sandrock00. Good friend of mine, good friend of One and Way Dragons, and other friends of ours that are personal to us. He had gotten the Xbox that launch day, and he brought home Halo. So after work, I went to visit him, and he and I played the first 2 or 3 levels together of Halo, and wow, what a game that was! I mean, what an experience that was to have a game in 5.1 surround sound, 480p, which was like the HD of the era. To have a controller where
the Duke,
2 analog sticks, the Duke, and I still like the Duke because I have large hands.
Yeah.
Or larger than average, but not humongous. And I always felt that controller, it felt good at the time. But yeah, the S was better. But, the 2 analog sticks that they used, to aim and walk, I mean, that became the standard forevermore.
Yeah.
For FPS games. That and the fact that you only really had 2 weapons at a time instead of in Quake and Doom and all the forebearers where you had the whole arsenal. Remember Turok? You had the whole arsenal. Every weapon you found in the game, you had on your back the whole time. That never made any sense. The Master Chief could do it in some power armor. I didn't know how some, regular human could have did that. But hey, that's how that was. But I mean, the Xbox from day one just blew me away. And then I had bought one maybe 3 months later, maybe. But what happened to me was for whatever reason, I took it off my surge protector,
Ooh.
and then I had plugged it in directly in the wall, and it got shocked, right?
Yeah.
And so it was still under warranty, and so I got a replacement, and it had one of those Samsung drives that could read CDRs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this must have been a blessing from God, because now I could rip my MP3s, burn a CD, then rip it on the Xbox to have my music tracks on there.
I remember
And
that.
so, yeah, that Samsung drive was a rare drive to have that could actually read CDs or CDRs in general. So, yeah, and I still have that Xbox version.
Now, do you remember there was an issue with the power cords?
Yeah, and they gave out that newer power cord that has the surge protector built in.
Yeah.
But folks, if you have a surge protector, don't use that and that cable at the same time, because if you have two surge protectors, it's actually the opposite result. It's actually the opposite result, and it could fry your equipment. So you definitely don't want that. If you have that special cable, please don't use it on a surge protector. And if you have a surge protector, just use the original cable, and you'll be just fine. It's just that the Xbox apparently needed some extra surge protection at that point, and that was late in the life they figured that out.
Yep. I still got mine too as well.
Yeah, I still have that cable too. In fact, I don't use it. I never used it because I knew about the surge protection and all of that, what the cable was for. So I still have it in the box. I wonder if this actually worth something, having it, sleek and packaged like that. I'm not playing this.
This is the replacement right here that you could have gotten at the time.
Yo, I don't know about y'all two.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all too, but I'm gonna open up this show.
Straight
up, I'm opening up this show with the fire.
Okay. All right. I'll try to delay it a little bit.
2021. Ascent. My game is coming out.
Oh, not only your game.
My game is coming out.
Got that right.
The exclusives are starting to happen. So now what? We got Flight Simulator, Ascent, and the Radar. But the one that I'm very, very interested in is third party. But I've been holding on to this game along with my little game Tunic. I can't wait for Tunic to come out. But Biomutant is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Biomutant is going to be a problem. And
Crossfire X is going to be a problem. That's the one I'm waiting on.
Numbers for Biomutant. Hey, yo, Tay, can you put up Biomutant for us, man?
Yeah, let's just
after
play.
the Ascent. Let the Ascent shine for a minute, because I'm not even gonna front on Ascent, man. That was my go-to game right there the first time I saw it.
Day one.
So I can't wait to get that. That's gonna be co-op as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, they're saying it's like Diablo, right? It's supposed to be like Diablo.
Well, they always did.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up, everybody in the chat, man? How y'all doing today, man? We're doing good. In Texas, we're getting a lot of rain, but we're good, man. We're good. Are y'all getting Ascent day one? I'm getting it day one, man.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the games I've been waiting on.
It's saying Game Pass
this whole time.
Day one.
Oh, yeah, but not every game, you're interested in playing, but this is a game I've been waiting on the whole time.
I made a funny.
Yeah.
They don't.
Ah, man.
Yo,
that went flying over my head, I guess.
It's tech, yo.
They don't have a choice.
Yo, it's
I got
tech.
a choice. But I choose to play it.
You're getting it day one if you got Game Pass, whether you like it or not.
Oh, I like it. I'm good. But if I don't, thanks. I don't play anything I don't want to play. Not to knock Mass Effect. I like it, but I'm not playing it again.
Facts. Now that I got that out the way, go ahead and throw up some Biomutant, but I'm going to pass the mic over to SIKSLAYER and let him finish. Let him start off where he left off before we got messed up on YouTube. And the topic at that point was Xbox going to China sometime in July.
Yes.
Mistaken, or June. I can't remember, but I know, just put it like this, the summer. You can look it up on the internet, but the Asian invasion of Xbox is coming.
It's in full effect, definitely.
Good. I think it's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. SIKSLAYER.
Right. So last generation, PlayStation was the first to release their system in China, but this time it's looking like Microsoft is going to be there first, as well as India, which is also an Asian region that's of note. So, I mean, there's 1.4 billion Chinese. If they even get 3% of that, that's a lot of people and a lot of potential, for the future. I don't know the population in India, but we know there's a lot of people in India as well.
It's it's a lot. That's all I can say.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's got to be close to 1 billion on its own. Like India is high population. So either way, that just means that the Xbox, has more and more chances to be successful.
That's right.
The PlayStation will be there as well because they've been in China before. Like I said, last generation they were there first in China, but Microsoft and Xbox has been focusing on India since the 360. So this is the third generation in a row that I can remember, that they really wanted to focus on India and China, by the way. So yeah, this is a big deal. They see the writing on the wall. They see the future, and the Game Pass model is definitely going to work out a lot better
that's
there.
Earn a lot of rupees, man, like big time.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's the key player right there.
Indeed. These are countries where, people still use internet cafes and gaming cafes where they don't own, the machine, and they go to these places to rent time to, play consoles and PC games and stuff. So Game Pass is a
subscription-based model at India with the cafes.
That's true.
Right.
That's
and
true.
They've been at China as well. So, those are two areas, and Korea as well, I believe, where that's still a part of, of the way people consume their internet.
You're talking about South Korea?
Yeah, South Korea, of course. It's going to be North Korea. That damn sure couldn't be that.
North Korea.
But yeah, so South Korea, India, China, that's still popular in those areas.
Shout out to the Asian market out there, y'all. Give it up to the Asian market for Xbox.
Shout out to Cambodia, man, because I've been there once. It's fantastic. Shout out to Cambodia.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. I hope you guys get it and really enjoy the essence of Xbox, because as an Xbox fan that's been here for 20 years, I will say this. I've never been more excited as an Xbox fan than I am now this year. Like, this year is the epitome of being a true hardcore Xbox fan. Like, there's no, like I keep telling people, there's no mistaking of this 3 right here. Like, there's no mistaking what kind of console or what kind of brand we represent, what we like. But that doesn't go to say that because you like a different console than what we like, oh, you're the worst person on earth. No.
You're a bad person.
The thing is, we are just truth holders, and we're not pamper, we're not diapers here. We're not pamper holders. We don't supply diapers for you and your feelings. We're not invested in feelings. I can attest that for these two guys and myself. The thing is this, that when you think about this current generation and the things that the Xbox team is doing for the Xbox brand, it's not even up for grabs, right? It's no longer up for grabs. It wasn't from the gate, but we can say this in April of 2000 or May, even, well, I would say, yeah, we could officially say it back in April, but because it's May, we're going to go ahead and say it right now. Before E3 is my point. Xbox is the best console to play your console games this generation. The other consoles are not even close to the magnitude of what the Xbox team sought out in their vision. And not only are they making it come true quickly, they have the support of indies, third parties, double A's, and the beautiful thing that I'm loving so far is how they're keeping their first parties enclosed. Like, we know when those first parties hit, the distinction is going to be at an all-time high. We're not talking about no 900p, 1080p talk no more. The distinction, I'm talking about the detailed quality of Xbox first-party games are going to be remarkable. And if you don't have an Xbox, a current Xbox, I'm talking about a series, any of the series, I hope that you do, because what Xbox is doing for gamers is unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a gaming company
King James
go this to make sure that their ecosystems don't overtake the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting to a point, Sick and Tech, where the Xbox games that are on PC are really not more different than what we have on the Series X. And note, before I pass this mic over, and note this, that I was talking to Tech today about this. I really don't even need a PC to play my Xbox games. The Xbox Series X, all I have to do is hook it up to a monitor, man.
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
Yep.
PC does still, in fact, on its own, has an upper hand when you're talking about being able to manipulate and customize.
Yep, and nobody will
having
ever
raw
argue
power, and it's a cost thing. That's all that is. Yeah.
Nobody that I know of who are real PC fans is gonna argue and debate that we are not having a huge gaming experience at 4K 120. No, none of them are gonna say that. So now that we're at 4K 60, 4K 120, we're here.
Yeah. Well, you put a lot of information there on the table by alluding to a lot of things. So let's break that down.
Break it down, baby.
So first off, okay, the hardware, that's black and white. Okay, I don't know what drugs some people are using when they're talking about SSDs and all this other stuff. No, you're not a tech guy. Just stop. I've been on this channel more than a couple times now, breaking down the hows and whys. So if you don't know by now, it's because you're not trying to know, or you're just trying to ignore the facts. So that's the easy one. Okay, we know, the hardware muscle that's under the Series X and X, right?
Yeah.
And we know the PS5 is not a weak system at all. I'm not saying that, but what the Xbox has is far superior. I wouldn't say far superior because that's not accurate, but it's superior to what's on the PlayStation. Okay.
Yeah.
And we see that beginning to bear out constantly. New games are on both platforms, and the Xbox will have the option for 120 frames, and the PlayStation version won't even have that at all. Or if they do, it's at a low resolution.
You know what? Sick. I want to stop you just right there. Keep your thought.
Mm-hmm.
The console that we're talking about when we talk about the Series X isn't a console of performance mode.
Nope.
But I just want to make sure they don't get it confused with what you just said, and then I'll let you continue. When he's talking about the setting, he's talking about that's built in.
Yep.
4K 60 to 120 is built in. So if you get a TV or a monitor that is capable of doing that, 120, there's no performance mode setting for that. It's going to automatically, you're going to have to go in there and make sure you check it, but it should do it. It should recognize and correct itself right there, compat itself right there. But if it doesn't, you got to make sure you got everything checked.
Yes.
After that, you're good to go. Nobody can say that playing games at 4K 120 is a bad thing. We're as far as anybody else, there isn't anybody else. And we're not this is not knocking the other consoles. This is just telling you the difference. This is what the capabilities are. And if you're talking about gaming experiences, Xbox is in the forefront. Go ahead, Sid.
Yeah. So definitely. So the reason Emmanuel A1 is asking, he's not asking, but he's saying the software is hands down. And I'll get into software afterwards. But the hardware isn't far superior, but it can perform like it is because it has certain features and customizations that allow it to punch above its weight class.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a middleweight that's got the punching power of a super heavyweight. Okay. Xbox has that. Okay. We know about NVIDIA with their DLSS. Well, AMD has something very similar called Fidelity FX. And there's all types of things. We don't need to get in details about that. We've spoken on those things before. But this is hardware and software that work together. If you notice on the PlayStation, there's a lot of issues that's going on, right? It doesn't have variable refresh. We only just got, external hard drive support, but you still can't use that SSD slot that's in there, that NVMe slot still, right? And it's my personal opinion, even when the SSD slot is enabled, you're not going to be able to use the internal drive that's already on the system and that slot at the same time.
Whoa, what?
I don't think so.
Nah.
Because I'm looking at the map of, okay, you remember a couple months ago, we had what do you call it? Those screenshots of the chip.
Yeah.
Right? And they shaved off the top and they used that acid or whatever and they x-rayed the chip. Okay. Tech dudes like myself have been looking at these schematics. We see the lines that come off the SoC into where the SSD is, and then there's another lane that comes off of that, and then it goes to that slot that one day you'll be able to use. But there's only one lane. How can you use both drives at the same time?
If it's true, that is bad.
If there's one lane. But that's my theory. I'm not saying that's 100% fact, but from the way I see it, that's not good.
Now, I think I don't remember if this was on the Vita, but was the Vita the same way? Where
I didn't really actively use the Vita in its day.
Where you get one with some storage on it, but of course it's never enough. You always gotta get the expansion card.
Yeah, it's never enough.
It's never enough.
Especially with Sony's expensive cards.
Right,
Yeah,
you get the Sony expensive cards, and you insert the card as you knew expanded storage. But I think, I'm not sure, maybe somebody in the chat remembers, once you put that card in, it no longer uses the internal storage. And it only uses the expanded card, I think.
Okay, it doesn't include it. It doesn't add to it.
No.
It doesn't add to it.
It completely bypasses it like it's not there.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So is that what you're saying too about maybe the SSD?
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing about it is, okay, there's a highway that comes off that main processor, right? And it goes to the SSD that's started onto the board, right? It's a bunch of chips. Yeah. And there's also a controller chip. Okay, so there's a highway that goes from the master chip, that SoC that everybody talks about, and it goes to the the SSD assembly where you got the chips that actually hold the data, and there's a chip that controls it, a controller, right? Okay, there's another highway that comes off of that controller, that goes into the slot, right? Now on the Xbox, there's two slots. There's two highways. Okay, there's a highway for the drive that's on the board.
Look what Emmanuel A1 is saying. Look, he's right.
Yeah. And there's another highway that goes to the connector in the back where if you get one of those expansion cards, like I have one of those, and you plug it in. Those are two highways. They both run the same speed. So heaven forbid, something happens to the internal drive. I'm sure Microsoft could do something where they could disable that drive and you can just use the external drive and you'll be fine. But it doesn't matter anyway, because if you actually look on the motherboard, if you've ever seen a picture, it's just an NVMe drive like you see on a PC. Yeah. Unlike the PlayStation where it's just a bunch of chips that's soldered in, which is a bad design thing, right? But putting that aside, I don't know how on the PlayStation, if you have an external SSD to put into that slot, that the internal drives that are already there will be usable at the same time unless they cut the speed by half or whatever, is being used at the time. Let's say you have a game that's not using the drive to its full extent. Maybe the leftover, bandwidth could be used to access the internal drive if you're recording, your game saves to that, whatever. But from what I'm seeing, it makes no sense that it could work and let you use the internal drive and the external expansion at the same time. Now, folks, I'm not talking about a USB drive that you could plug in and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay, they finally added that. That's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an SSD that you could plug into that slot. That's still not accessible yet, and it's looking like, at least in my opinion, there's going to have to be a lot of explaining on how it's possible that you could use an internal and an external at the same time, and I don't think that's possible. And I've been meaning to speak on this for a while, and I didn't talk about this on the Dragons Den because Lemon was like, it's not fact, we're not sure, and so I want to make this clear, he was right about that. We're not sure. I could be flat wrong. I don't see how I am because if you notice how the Xbox is doing it, there's two lanes. There's two lanes that come off the chip. Okay, there's
Well,
one that
I
goes
mean,
to the internal drive, and there's one to the
when you think
connector.
about it, though, the Series X has two motherboards.
Yes, it does. Well, it does, but it's really like one motherboard that's been chopped off, into parts. But it's really one, and they cut it together with the cable. But it's the same concept, right?
Yeah.
They split up the functionality of one motherboard into multiples, and there's this board, is holding the chip in the RAM, and this other board is holding, the part that connects to the drive and the SSD and networking, other things like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what do y'all think about the next big news? I'm bringing the fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield is exclusive, people. Let's give it up for Starfield.
All right.
Oh, pause. Even before that, Destin Laguerre had to put up a video today with these PlayStation guys, and it had to be PlayStation guys.
What,
like,
the video about
him.
says Xbox being controversial or something like that?
Yeah, anytime he says anything positive about Xbox, all of a sudden he's getting problems. And we all know where that's coming from. Yeah. But this is another guy who's been saying exactly what you have been saying, Legal, for a while now. Okay? And so, I mean, there it goes.
Let's see what it is.
So,
what have I been saying for a while?
Like, the software's coming, the Xbox. Okay, listen. Xbox is not what it was before Phil Spencer took over and at the end of the 360 era, okay? There was a lot of shifty people in charge of Xbox.
Yeah, I gotta get my son's Kung Fu computer Zoom meeting get set up, so I'll be back in a second.
All right, no problem.
All right. So if you notice, towards the end of the 360 era, and then halfway into last generation up until Phil Spencer took over, those were particularly dark times for Xbox. The people who were in charge of that whole division didn't really care, right? And you could see it in their actions. Okay, when Maxick was asked, what if you don't have online? Well, we have a system for you. That's a 360. Everybody understands why that was a stupid thing to say. We don't need to break that down. Xbox now is in a whole different position. First off, they put a person like Phil Spencer in charge. Now, there's another name you can't question anymore. He's put in too much work. And you see the fruits of that labor now in the series consoles. Everything about it is the way it should be. It makes sense. Even the features it doesn't have right now that's on the way. For example, Emmanuel A1, I'm going to bring this up right now. Hey, what's up, 100? Dolby Vision. And put simply, a lot of people aren't even talking about it like it really is. This is auto Dolby Vision, just like it's auto HDR. Every game on the series platform that supports HDR will now support Dolby Vision when it comes out to the public.
That's it.
The Alpha Ring right now, who we're talking about it. And it'll be 4K 120 Dolby Vision. I have an LG C10. Okay?
Yo!
This is
Speak on it!
This exposes the TV didn't have it enabled. Not that it's not capable of it, and LG has already mentioned that they can have a firmware update to enable that, right? And a lot of people love that TV for good reasons. Okay, a lot of people apprehensive about it because it's an OLED, but the reason anybody was even focused on it in the first place is because it has all the checkboxes, and there are many manufacturers like Samsung and others who are getting on that ball as well, except for Dolby Vision, because Samsung has their own thing.
This does?
But just another example.
You know what this does, man? What makes Dolby Vision in gaming for Xbox a big deal is that now it's making TV companies realize that Microsoft isn't messing around when it comes to premium.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is being stamped as premium gaming, just like they said it was going to be.
Yep.
Dolby Vision, I don't know if people's even seen it. If you have a Samsung, you haven't seen it.
You can't.
You have certain TVs, but I'll bring up Samsung. But certain TVs, I remember when Sony didn't have it, but they saw the light.
Yes.
They knew that to get Westerners to buy those TVs, they're going to have that Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
LG has been on it. TCL's been on it. Hisense been on it.
Yep.
Vizio's been on it. If I'm leaving any other TV brand out there,
Even
that is
Sony,
at least in the top
Sony
5.
as well. Yeah, they're in the top 5 that
Yeah, the
brands
top
people are
5.
considering. Yeah.
All except Samsung.
Yeah.
And it's just more of a pride thing with Samsung. It's just a pride thing.
Yeah,
But
we can't really blame them for not wanting to have supported it at first because they wanted the free and open version with HDR10 Plus, but that didn't work out. So Dolby Vision is what it is, right?
Because they created it. It's a created type of HDR, and it's not a bad HDR. We're not saying that, you know what I'm saying?
Nope.
But compared to the quality of Dolby Vision, I mean, you got to look at it like this. Dolby Vision is a cinematic HDR color gamut.
Mm-hmm.
It's at its highest quality. I mean, it's movie cinematic. It doesn't get no higher than that. I don't think I ever thought I would see the day that Dolby Vision was going to be in video games as soon as it's coming. I knew eventually because I was guessing at it a couple of years ago just out of my own fantasy thoughts of having it, but I didn't think that it was actually going to be something as fast as it was reported.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw that Dolby Atmos, I knew then it wasn't going to be much longer because they go hand in hand. Can you imagine Dolby Atmos with a Dolby Vision game?
Oh, they're going to be hand in hand.
It's going to be hand in hand.
Fall in Halo Infinite. It's going to have it then because if Dolby Vision is in the alpha right now, by the end of the week, it might be in the beta, if not next week, right? And by the end of the month, it's going to be out to everybody, right? So we already have Atmos, and here's Dolby Vision. So by the time Halo comes out, if Halo decided to drop next month because all of a sudden they only needed the 6 months, to fix everything that they were doing, or actually more than like 8 to 10, actually, whatever, right? If Halo was to come out next month, it would have Dolby Vision and Atmos by next month because that's when the features will be available to the public for all Xbox Series users to enjoy. But I want to step back a second.
Mr. Kima says something. I guess I'm wrong. I stand corrected. All Sony TVs do not have Dolby Vision now, and this is actually a shame.
And Hisense is the only one that has it right now. Right.
The Sony A90 TVs does not support Dolby Vision. 4K 120 hertz.
At 4K 120. They support at 4K 60, and the LG does right now.
Okay.
But like Emmanuel A1 is saying in there, in the chat, it's only the new Hisense is the only one that's 4K 120 right now with Dolby Vision. But like I said, LGs were already working on that. Right?
Oh, okay. So the Hisense U8G is officially 4K 120 hertz with Dolby Vision Gaming. So it's the first one to include Dolby Vision Gaming.
At 4K 120.
Right. That's official.
Right. Because you can get
I just learned
4K 60 now because the PC version of Mass Effect Andromeda has Dolby Vision in it and it's had it since launch. But I really do want to address some of the stuff you said from the beginning there.
Yeah, hold on. One more thing. 100 said Gears 5s have them both now for the alpha.
In the alpha group. That's right. That's right. Okay. That's right. Because it already had the HDR because that's the feature that they're having in the Xbox. This is what they're gonna do. This is what I said before. If your game supported HDR, when this feature is out, now it can support Dolby Vision. Every HDR capable game will now have Dolby Vision. If that's auto HDR or native HDR in the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous.
All be Dolby Vision compatible now, right?
I see you, Emmanuel. I see you. I hear you.
Emmanuel is quite a knowledgeable gamer as well. So definitely shout him out. He's bringing up good topics. And so, okay, I want to address something you said there at the beginning about how Dolby Vision is more live than the others. And that's a very good way to explain it. And this is something that Xbox has been doing for 20 years and something I mentioned at the very beginning, how it has Dolby Digital built into the system. Live encoded Dolby. It's encoded live. And I'm going to give you a difference. When you watch a movie, all the audio and video is obviously pre-recorded, right? So they could record the content
Talk to
in whatever
'em.
format they want. But in a game, it's live. It's happening in the moment. If me and Tech are racing in Forza and I have surround sound enabled, if I'm in the lead,
started.
if I'm in the lead and he's behind me, I'm going to hear him behind me, right? If he starts to catch up and now he's side by side, I don't have to look. I can hear him next to me. And if he passes me, I'll start to hear and see him as he passes, right? The same with Dolby Vision versus HDR10. Dolby Vision is on the fly, adjusting, right? When HDR10 is not. And Dolby Vision, if your display is compatible with Dolby Vision, the system already knows the brightness values and everything for your display.
Right.
You don't have to go in the menu and adjust that brightness because it's a part of Dolby Vision where the display has to be able to report to the device, this is what I'm capable of, and this is where I fit in. You don't get that in HDR10. This is why in HDR10, you have to go in that menu and you have HDIQ, which kind of helps to automate that a lot. But now with Dolby Vision, you won't have to do that at all because it's baked into the technology and the way it works. It's not something you have to access. Okay, will those menus and options be there? I don't know. But I assume it would be, for the hardcore who really want to tweak things. But on the fly, this is what Dolby Vision does. And even for the retro games, let's say like a game I was playing a couple months ago, River City Girls, okay? 2D pixel art, right? Even then, you want HDR in games like those because it gives you that CRT style brightness, right? That you don't get in these TVs unless you have HDR on, even for something retro like that. It's ridiculous. And I see what you're saying, Rage.
He wastes no time. He wastes no time.
He wastes no time and he should not.
No time at all, man.
It's kind of pathetic. But, it's kind of pathetic what's going on with PlayStation. Because one other thing I want to mention real quick is...
Take your time.
I don't even think the PS5 could be classified as HDMI 2.1, honestly, right? Because a lot of people might know that the HDMI, the bit rate of that is 48 gigabits, right? And a lot of people like, to knock the the LG C10, it's only 40. But that's all you need for 10-bit 4K 120. The PS5 only has 32. That's not enough for 10-bit 4K 120 hertz. I don't even know if
you're gonna make people mad, Sick.
Hey,
you're gonna
listen.
make people mad.
But no, listen. I'm not being messy. I'm just being blunt with impeccable timing. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And you want to know what the funny part about what you just said? We had 32 or 36-bit last generation.
Right. We had that, but most of our displays and even the Xbox itself couldn't output it at its its full thing because the output wasn't because it's not capable.
Right.
And the PS5 isn't even HDMI 2.1, even at a level where it could do is basically at a level where it could do 4K 60. But if it wants to do 4K 60 with HDR, that's probably the limit. But to do 4K 120 and HDR,
it's not
let alone Dolby Vision or Atmos, or even apparently variable refresh rate, because the system's been out for over 6 months and we still don't have that on PlayStation. Xbox had that since day one. Hell, we had that last generation with the Xbox One X and the Series S. So they still don't have a lot of things.
Look at that. Every time I hear that, Tech, it makes me go back to what me and Tech was saying last year, and it's incredible. Because let me see, how many more months we have, Tech? June, July, August, September, October. You guys got 5 more months to prove me and Tech wrong, which we're not already right. I mean, it's not like we're not, you can't prove us wrong because it's not like we're already right. It's just, I want to make it more interesting. I want to have more fun. So I'll give you 5 more months to prove to us that this console wasn't bogus. And we're not. And
at least you have the variable refresh rate and the SSD slot working. If you don't have those two things, it's a big L. It's a big L.
I don't know how people can defend not even the expanded storage.
How you defend it?
How people can defend it.
Look, this is to the panel, okay? This is to the panel.
And I'm angry. I'm mad.
And This is for people who possibly have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. I don't care. I got a question. How do you justify the PlayStation 5 being next generation when we know what the capabilities are to make a console a certified next generational console? Tell me what is it doing that says next generation? I still don't see it.
It's the controller.
Pretty much. Because nothing else.
Everybody's
is really
raving about the controller.
Next gen
I
about
hear
it.
more about the controller than anything else.
No, but here's the funny thing. That might be a little bit of
Jab.
Jab there or whatever. But
It's true.
Flat truth. It's flat truth. Because think about it. There is nothing features-wise the PS5 has that the PS4 Pro doesn't. It's just a faster processor, right? It's a faster GPU. No additional features that the other one didn't have, right? And even ray tracing. Because ray tracing is being done by the shaders. The PS4 could do that. We have Xbox Crisis Remastered on last gen's Xbox. Does ray tracing. It kills the performance on that box, but it does it. That's what the PS5 is doing. They're doing ray tracing with the shaders. The Xbox Series platform, right, has real ray tracing hardware there to do that, right? That's next generation.
Sick and lying because we ain't seen it yet.
Well,
that's what they always say.
That's what they always say, but I don't care because we've seen ray tracing on both systems. We're seeing now multi-plat games. Constantly, the Xbox is winning. It's been a while now where the PlayStation even gets an accidental win. Okay, you remember when Titanfall 2 was released with that update where they said it was going to have, internal 6K and it would downscale to 4K, and then when it first came out, it wasn't nothing like it was supposed to be. And don't forget, it was Digital Foundry who put us on that, right? And then when that first version was out and it didn't work, and they patched it like a couple days later and it worked exactly the same. You don't even see situations like that. When the Xbox comes out with a multi-plat game, it wins by default. It's not it's not like the early days of this generation where the PlayStation was winning, in certain situations, or the Xbox would have a dip there, or the Dirt 5 situation, or things like that. Every game that's
people make it seem like
Xbox is winning,
like
by far.
If PlayStation is holding at 60 and Xbox drops to like 54, oh wow, it looks muddier than hell.
Right.
Ooh, buddy.
Now hold on, Tech. What makes that so funny?
But they make it seem like, okay, if you dip anything below 60, then that's it. It's a deal breaker.
Right.
Oh, you mean like The Last of Us today?
Wait a minute, Sid.
You mean like The Last of Us today?
What's funny about that? Hold on. Hazard AOQ said the Series X got a dedicated ray tracing chip. Facts. Nothing else to say about that.
Well, it's not a chip per
that's
se,
why
but it's functionality within the GPU. Yeah, it's built in.
That's why they don't. What is that? OSC. What is that?
Where?
That's why they don't something that much performance when a dev uses it properly.
Right. It doesn't lose as much performance.
Okay, it doesn't lose. Okay, that's why they don't lose that much performance when a dev uses it properly. That's correct. That Mr. Kima said Rise Son of Rome has scenes with ray tracing on Xbox One. Facts.
So it's PS5 or 4. I forget which one.
Right.
But that was pre-done. It's not on the fly, though. That's different. But,
fact.
Yeah.
Now, to go back, I got you, Hazard. Now, to go back to what Tech was saying. You want to know what's funny about what Tech was saying? Was when they'll make those silly comparisons, right? And let's say the 4K 60, right? And it's holding steady on the PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. And then it may dip to like 56 frames per second on the Xbox One. Now, I had a lesson about this long time ago on one of my channels way back in the day, talking about the frame rate numbers. Right. And it goes like this. It goes from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 60. Notice I didn't say 50.
Right.
You know why I didn't say 50, Sick and Tech? Because you don't feel the difference.
Right.
The only numbers that matter are the ones when you actually see the difference. So
feel it or feel
Yeah,
it.
the feel. So
Right.
10, 20, when it 20, you'll feel the difference between the 10. Then from 20 to the 30, you'll feel the difference. From 30 to 40, you'll feel the difference. But between those, like if it's 40 and 45 frames, you're not feeling the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then 50 to 60, if it drops down to like 56, you're not feeling that difference. This
And
is
here's
why
the
you
funny
don't
thing
ever see
about it.
that count. You don't ever see that count.
Right.
This is why when they bring 45, it's always from 30 to 45. It's never,
Right.
oh, it's 4K 60, but we did this, so now from 60 to 45, we're gonna put it at 40. You never hear them say that.
No, they don't ever do that. Right.
Right. They won't do it that way. It's either gonna go from 30
But here's
up.
the capper though. Right. Which
I was
platform has the variable refresh though?
Yeah,
The
but
Xbox. So even
Oh, it's my turn.
watch this.
that's not my phone. See, you talk about like that, that would happen to you. There you go.
But shit,
Yeah.
watch this. Like you always say, they're not this dumb and they're not this stupid, right? They just want to ignore the facts. So I get you with this one. I get you. That's why I'm finna say this thing with tech is crazy, right? But what they don't want to recognize, let me put it like that then. What they don't want to recognize is the fact that the Xbox is doing much more. It's either having the ray tracing on full max with all these other capabilities going on, and then it may dip four frames down because it's doing more. When you're doing more, you got more demand. When you're not, of course, you're going to hold it steady. And so now the PlayStation 5 is not even looking powerful, even when it's holding steady, because it's not even doing as much as what the Xbox Series X is doing.
Nope.
That's where it's becoming funny. So even when you see a steadiness somewhere, the Xbox Series X is still doing a lot more within the game. So you're not really losing the experience. You're losing no experience at all.
I'm gonna give you two examples, but let me go back to what I was saying because it actually it dovetails real nice into what you just said, right?
Go ahead, brother.
So the Xbox has variable refresh and FreeSync support, right? And if you're an NVIDIA fan, it's the same as G-Sync, okay? G-Sync is the forebearer of all of this. And it's why, PC and console both have that. It's because when they first announced G-Sync, the three wise men were on stage, okay? Sean Carmack, the dude from DICE, right? Who does Battlefield and what's that engine called? The Frostbite engine.
Right.
And dude from Epic, right? The three wise men were there the day they showed off G-Sync, right? And now we have this same technology on our consoles and our TVs, right? When frames drop from 60 to say 56, when you have variable refresh on, it doesn't even affect, you don't see tearing, right? So it doesn't matter. You don't see it. If you don't feel it, who cares? It's not there to you as far as it matters. But here's the difference, because of what you just said was Call of Duty was a great example, right? It runs higher resolution on the Xbox compared to the PlayStation, right? The PlayStation is 60 frames locked, right? Because it's running at that lower resolution, but the Xbox is higher resolution and it might dip, the 56 here and there, right? But number one,
but
that's
see,
an advantage for the
dipping
Xbox
part
gamer.
is so instant that you won't even notice.
You don't even notice it, especially if you're on the Xbox with variable refresh, because it smooths that out anyway,
exactly.
right?
But see, people
thing,
see these comparisons and these analysis. They
don't even
see that graph and they slowly
like,
creeping by. And it's like, whoa, look at that dip. See? You see? I'm like, dude, it's
But if that graph wasn't there, you wouldn't have noticed
if that
it.
graph wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have noticed it, right? And that's very true. But here's the other thing, though. Call of Duty is a great example because on the Xbox, it's higher resolution.
Daddy.
If you play that game, that's an advantage, especially on Call of Duty because it's crossplay.
But would it be for any multiplayer FPS?
Well, it depends on the situation. Now, you see, Call of Duty, which is why I bring it up, is the perfect example. It's a multi-plat game that's cross-play, and everybody can, if they want to, play together. And not all systems are equal. You could have a high-end PC running the game at 8K. You see everything from every distance, right? If you put that money in. We could buy an Xbox and you have, you know, the 4K version of basically the same thing, right? The PlayStation will be slightly lower res, but you could at least say, you know, the frame rate will be locked 60, but it's not as sharp. And if you're really competitive, you want that sharpness if you already have the performance, because you want everything, because everything
I'll
is
tell you this,
advantage.
man, because
that Xbox has the advantage in sharpness, and it's a competitive
with what you're saying
advantage.
right now. You're right, because I noticed this when I played Battlefield. Right, I played Battlefield 5, and when I got my new gaming monitor, the one I'm actually using right now, when I started playing it, this was 4K 60. I see everything from a distance. Every little thing, I'm like, oh my God. So I started getting hate messages. Dude, you're hacking. I was like, no, I'm not hacking.
Yep.
I was like, you just suck.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. Like, PC game, okay, and that whole mentality, you know, that whole conversation where you say people were telling you, you know, accusing you of hacking and stuff, that came from the PC community. Remember, because the PC community was online playing games before the consoles were, right? So that's where that came from. Like, people would have, you know, the average what you call PC, right? And, you know, they have average hardware in it, but some people had that money and have a beast PC, and that was an advantage for them. But on PC, it doesn't matter the frame rate, it doesn't matter your hardware, it doesn't matter nothing. If you can run the game, you compete with everybody else on PC playing the game. And on console, it used to be the same. Everybody had the same console. It didn't matter. But now that's starting to go away. And then if you're a console only person, I can see how you would not like that. And I'm not going to argue against that, you know, that point of view, because I get it. Consoles used to be very simple, and they're more PC complicated-esque, and that is a loss for the console community who likes the simplicity, right? But to put that aside, you still have a choice, and they try to keep it simple. Like, the choices are simple, A and B, not a whole slider with all types of options.
Well, also think about this too. When you go to multiplayer, right? That's competition. So anytime the word competition is out there, that means competitiveness.
Yeah.
Right.
But not exactly. It means competitive, because competitiveness is up to that player, right?
Yes.
You can't make somebody who doesn't have a competitive spirit good to get on multiplayer and want to be good, want to give himself the capabilities to be competitive. Is what I'm trying to say.
Some just want to jump in and have a good time, and that's it.
Right. And I don't knock that. That was a good time in my life where I wasn't caring about competition. Yeah.
And I'll speak on this. Cause back in the day on Gears 3, we used to love people like that. I used to get people to tell me, "Oh, Legal, shut up, man. It's just a game." And I used to say, "It's just a game. I pay Xbox Live. This is a bill. This isn't just a game. And when I come on multiplayer, I come to bust your ass. I'm not coming because I'm having I'm just having a good day and I just want to get on multiplayer and have some fun.
Come on, man.
Well, yeah, you can have some fun catching these L's, but I'm gonna get have some fun catching these W's on you, talk my mess to you, and then you're gonna be mad. Then you're like, I shouldn't have got online. That's right.
Sorry about that.
Go play your single player experience when you just want to have fun. But don't bring that to multiplayer. Don't come on multiplayer.
Yeah, that's not good for your mental health. Let me tell you, man. There was a point in my life where I wasn't feeling multiplayer. You know, I just wanted, something I could sit back and just chill, because the people I was playing online with were really getting, too serious and I care. But sometimes
the only time when I get into Legal's type competitive mode
is Battlefield.
No, not Battlefield, is Apex.
Oh yeah,
because you have to. You're only 3 players in the squad against everybody else. And when I see my squad mate like running across the map by himself, that pisses me off. I'm like, dude, why are you even with us? You know?
Yeah, not being a team player. Why are you playing a team mode?
Exactly. But when it comes to like games like Battlefield or even Call of Duty, you have a lot more players. So it's like, whatever. And I was like, I'll do my own thing.
Yeah. Right.
That's true.
But a lot of games like Battlefield, they entice you to play the team game, or at least to play your role.
Play your role, yeah.
Right? So even if you're being Rambo, they entice you to be Rambo to the benefit of your side at very least. So I kind of like that. I wish they would do more of that in Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is more single than anything else. It's about getting that stupid ass quick scope crap that I hate so much.
Yeah, even in the team modes, it's like that. Yep.
But Battlefield's my go-to just because I love tanks, jets, helicopters, jeeps, motorcycles. I mean, you name it, they have it. It's so much fun.
And there's so much
do a lot more.
Battlefield 6
in that game. Yeah,
being on Game Pass or whatever. And listen, if that comes to Game Pass, this is like, okay, that's like a nuke of being dropped on Sony's head right now. That's kind of nuts.
But Bethesda purchased a nuke already, but people are saying...
Well, Hiroshima, now comes Nagasaki.
Yeah, that's true.
Here comes Nagasaki, you know?
For real.
That's how it can be. Like, but the thing about it is, to get back on point about Xbox, right? It's an advantage when you have that higher resolution, even if the frame rate may dip at a point that you're not even going to notice, right? Especially when you have variable refresh, because it's going to eliminate the tearing that would let you know if you didn't have some graph or a frame rate counter to let you know. If you don't see the tearing, you're not going to know that you're dropping frames. It's not going to matter if you don't feel it. You're not going to feel it. And it's usually just a couple of frames that you're not going to feel in and of that moment. Like,
can you feel it? Woo!
Y'all tell Tech what trailer y'all want to see.
Oh, you should put up the Ascent if there's a good footage of the Ascent. Because to get back to the beginning of the conversation, we was talking about the Ascent there. That was one of the first games I saw when people would ask me, what am I getting the Series X to play day one? My answer was, obviously, Halo so much that I'm like, I'm not even going to mention Halo that much. Everybody knows, right? Except at that point, it hadn't been delayed yet, right?
Right.
And that and Cyberpunk, right?
Facts.
So now, when we started seeing footage of real Xbox games, The Ascent was one of the first games I said, I want that game.
I got to. Yeah. That's right.
I want
one more time.
And then
you guys getting a day one?
Day one.
Oh, man, yeah.
Day one, day -15 when I'm preloading
it.
Don't
have a choice, bro. They're making me get it. They're making me get it.
Listen, man. Listen. I'm making them give it to me early because I've been waiting on this game. And Crossfire X is another title I'm definitely been waiting on. So games are coming. PlayStation fans love to spread this ignorant.
Hold on. Oh God, I just got this in my head right now. What you're saying is they keep spouting off. It does not have any games. Get some games. Get some games, dude. It's gonna hurt them now. It all starts. Right. It all started with the. It all started with the medium. All right. Mm-hmm. Now Ascent's coming out, and then what's a few months? What Halo, Crossfire.
Well,
and it's going to be this flood, a flood of games that PlayStation fans will be like, stop with the games already. Stop it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But here's the funny thing about all of that. But here's the funny thing about all of that. Like, they have to sit there and make up this highly specific situation to be able to say the Xbox has no exclusives. It's like, oh, because the game is also coming to PC, it doesn't count. Oh, because if anything happens,
we don't know what's going on with YouTube, but
it's the same kind of conversation you've heard many, many, many times. Oh yes, New Genesis. I was playing the beta over the weekend, but console gamers love to say a lot that they don't want to mess with PC. Everybody on PC is pirating. All these things that they say. Listen, if you're not a PC gamer, that's cool, right? But if you're not a PC gamer and you're a console gamer, and now I'm talking about these PlayStation guys specifically right now, how the hell are you going to bring up the PC in your little exclusive nonsense? Like, just stop. The Xbox has a wealth of exclusives, and we know Sony has the same titles they come out with every time, and I'm sure they'll be great, and a couple of them will be original and new. Right? And a couple of them will be games that y'all paid for to have exclusive for a little while, like you did with Deathloop and the other game. And like you tried to do with Starfield.
You want to know something that makes me mad? Stop bringing up PC around us, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Microsoft and PC, the experiences are almost twins now.
Yeah.
Between their gameplay. You're not going to be playing against me if I don't want you to be. Like I said, if I want to be competitive, I'll make sure I get something that'll match your computer with the 120 and the 4K or whatever we need to do.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, PC doesn't have quick resume. It doesn't have these special features.
PC gamers are asking for that. Dude from Digital Foundry was mentioning that on their last little roundtable, I think, video that came out over the weekend. He was like, "That's a feature, man." I'll tell you, as a PC dude, right? I would buy another NVMe SSD just for quick streaming alone. A dedicated drive just for quick streaming. But you see, that's how crazy I am and us PC dudes are. You guys are not on our level, and it's not a level like I'm above you. It's a different lane. Leave it alone. But it's funny. The PS5 handbook.
Yeah.
Range G4, I'm going to have to, to use your term there, right? Gladly. Like, you guys want to bring up things only because it at least makes some kind of logic in your argument, but you already done failed. Your console heads, what PC has or doesn't have, even if it's a game, is irrelevant to you because you're a console head.
Right.
If you're a console head, stay in that lane and shut your damn mouth about the PC. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
That's what me and Liga were talking about earlier with some dude online. He kept going back and forth with it. It's like, dude, I don't care about PC gaming.
Right.
It's like I wasn't even talking about PC gaming. It's always that one guy who jumps into your thread and it's a PC guy. He's like, yo, PC better. It's like, who's talking about PC?
But here's the funny part. When all that peasantry talk came out back in the day, it was because they could play games at 60 frames per second. And we were playing games at 30. I remember that.
Now they're moving the post, right? They're saying, 60's not enough.
Well,
they can't say that.
PC guys were never saying anything like that. The real PC guys. Right. This is the thing I keep saying. The fake ones who's trying to rep and make excuses. Right.
Right. They reveal themselves when they say something that's stupid.
Yes.
Because, like I keep saying, they can never take away the facts. And like I said, this is a truth show. Still, over 90% of them are still at 1080p, 60 frames per second.
That's right.
They can't speak on us no more. I don't listen to that.
The most popular PC video card is still the GTX 1060. At this rate, that's a 1080p card. It was stretching to be called the 1440 card that came out. I know I owned one.
2016.
And that's the bottom line.
2016.
That's the bottom line because SIKSLAYER said so. But listen. So the reason I'm bringing this up is you like to talk about PC because you're trying to find every angle you can to say, yeah, I don't have my face cam off for a reason. But you can check me out on Saturday if you want to see what I look like. If it's that important to you, homie. But,
I give the fans what they want, and I always put myself on the camera.
I don't know, man. Maybe this guy is about to start some mess. Maybe he's not. We'll see. What's up, Giovanni? But anyway, listen. Console. Okay, well, these PlayStation guys are trying to find every way they can switch up their narrative, right? Yeah. To try to make an excuse to say that the Xbox has no exclusives, which is retarded because 99.9% of you don't give F's about PC at all. Xbox or PlayStation guys who don't care about PC at all, and the fact that these fake PC gamers, and I repeat, fake PC gamers are up your ass and constantly saying, "Oh, PC master race and stuff," and it gets you console guys mad. Those aren't even real PC gamers. Those aren't even real
game in that though.
Right.
I had a guy today was on tech, right?
Right.
And I mentioned about him not even probably having a PC, and he's probably not even gaming, so he just takes a picture of a modem. I'm like, what's that supposed to prove? I can take a picture of my modem right here. Don't mean I'm PC gaming.
Exactly.
Meaning I actually have a PC and I'm using it for PC purposes.
Yeah.
Like, these cats be cracking me up, man. Look.
Exactly. So they have to stretch stuff out just to be able to say that Xbox has no exclusive or how many other days there. The PC runs it better, right? But does their PC run it better? You didn't put in the money. You don't have the
Right.
knowledge. Even if you had the money, you don't have the knowledge to make it run right.
Now, I'm glad Sensei said that, right? Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but I've never seen a cheap PC that runs anything stable at 4K 120. I said stable. So even when you
4K 120 is the new metric, yeah.
Right. Even when you max out your graphic cards, right? You're maxing everything out. You bought the monitors, you bought your graphic cards, you got your
Wait, hold on. Commander Rough Play says the line between PC gaming and console gaming is far too thin to be counted. Yes, it is.
I agree with him.
I disagree. I disagree.
Facts, because he's exactly right. He basically fulfilled what I was saying just a few minutes ago, right? Mm-hmm. It's too thin now. And upon what he just said, that's what Phil Spencer prophesied about 4 years ago. He said he's trying to bridge the gap between the console and the PC space with the Xbox brand. Now that that's cleared away, that's truth, that's facts, that's documented. We don't even need to talk about that.
Right. That's true.
The thing is, even with high-tech PC components, right? You have to have a strong, you really have to put a lot of money in for it to even stabilize. And you can go look this stuff up. This is why you don't see a lot of them. Look, YouTube, right?
It was a time when the recommended hardware didn't matter. Yeah. It wasn't good enough. And it's what's on the box saying it should be, it wasn't.
Right. When you're streaming, let's just say you're streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to put your videos on YouTube. YouTube is not going to convert that to 120 hertz.
Right.
It's just the technology is not there yet.
Right.
When you're playing these games 4K 120, I'm still trying to find that PC person that's doing it at a lot 120. I want to see
120. No, you're not gonna find that because number one, that's the new metric, and to be honest, it's really not fair right now because the consoles just came out. Except for last generation, every new console generation would have 6 months advantage over even PC. So
we all know, and Tech, we all know. I haven't met one. Okay, I'm not saying they don't exist.
But right now, you're not gonna find one.
We're on Twitter, right?
You're not gonna find one.
We're all over on social media, right? I haven't found one person to show me that they sit up there and they're playing their games ultra 4K. Now remember, I'm saying ultra. Oh yeah, I'm going there.
Not a new AAA they want. Old game maybe, but not a new AAA.
No, not no new. Ultra 4K.
Halo Infinite.
Ray tracing and all of that, right? Yeah. Sitting at 120. I don't care what they have.
Not even Halo Infinite.
Doing it.
Not even Halo Infinite unless you have a 3090.
It tells you the max capabilities of all the newest graphic cards out there.
Yep.
And I've yet to see one that has the NVIDIA DX12 logo on their cards. I haven't seen nobody bragging about that.
Well, if you have a newer NVIDIA or AMD, you already have that.
If I was a PC gamer sick and I was representing PC, I'm showing everybody what I got before I even put it together.
Oh, I did a video. Well, actually, I never posted it. But anyway, the point I want to make is, listen, okay. And the reason I disagree with Commander Ruff, I agree and disagree, but it depends on what lane you're in. What he's saying is the line between PC and console gaming is too thin to be counted. Yes. And I mentioned that like 10 minutes ago, right? It's the difference is, the console simplicity is going away and it's getting slightly more complex due to the fact that it's taking on a lot of the features that were PC exclusive, right? So there's a little bit of complexity. And so there's complexity, but even then on consoles, it's either A or B. It's performance mode or resolution mode. It's a simple choice. You don't have to go sit there and tweak individual options, right?
Thanks.
But the part I disagree on is if you're a console gamer, you don't care about rocking PC games for any advantage. Even if you could find a PC that could outperform a console at the same price, right? Which eventually will happen until the new consoles come out, right? There's a point within the generation where the PC will catch up to the console, right? And even, like, I'll give you an example. Around the time of Saints Row 3, I got that gifted to me on PC. And if you look on my Steam account, you'll see I beat the game on Steam, right? The week before, I was at my buddy Wetwork's house, and he was playing it on 360. I'm like, that's a dope game. I might get that. Before I could even think about purchasing it, it was gifted to me on my birthday, right? And at that time, PCs were far and away more powerful than the 360 and the PS3, right? Because the generation had been ongoing for like, what, 6 years? So the PC could catch up, and I could, play the game at 1080p,
Look,
60.
Sick.
That's
sick.
one
Here
thing.
it is, sick.
But it took too long for
Sick.
that to happen.
Right.
And it cost too much money.
Sick. Here's the funny part. PC just caught back up to console gaming after doing the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 days, bro. It's not like they were already just killing every daggum thing. And what I mean by that was the technology.
Yeah, it's the technology, right.
Right.
Because the consoles really came up behind what normally that PC got off bat, but then it got fixed later.
But here's the thing that I always want to tell people, and I know this for a fact, all right? Because most of my gaming experience is competitive gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to have a PC to be top ranked in anything.
Right, because that's not what matters.
PC doesn't make you a better gamer. You make yourself a better gamer.
That's right.
Okay? Just because I have a PC doesn't make me inferior to you. Doesn't make me superior to you. If I'm a good gamer, if I'm good at what I do, I can whoop you on a console. I can destroy you on a PC. You see what I'm saying? Because the PC is going to do nothing but enhance my qualities.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
But greatness within a gamer is within the gamer.
Yeah.
You're going to figure out tendencies, because let me tell you something. Your tendencies. You're going to figure out, right. Because let me tell you something. Every video game that's created has its special little perks. They don't come over to console for you to not learn them. They don't go to PC for you to not learn them. But the thing about PC is it has...
Ask the Mortal Kombat developers that.
Right. Well, it has a handicap. It has a handicap with the mods. It has a handicap with all of that stuff. So that when you're using those mods and all that, that's cheating for you. That's helping you. That's like bragging. That's like the PlayStation trying to create this robot so you can't get off this level. Oh, the robot will play the level for you and beat the level for you.
Oh,
like, I've never been that type of gamer. This isn't a knock, but that exists in their community. That doesn't exist in console community. The console community was always built upon skills. Skills. Nothing but skills. And because we're built off of that, we hold to a certain type of creed. Our creed measurement is different.
Exactly. It didn't matter what we play on.
Hold a different code. We don't care about I don't care that, I'm using look, I don't play video games with a keyboard and mouse. I don't. I never have and never will.
You should try it. You should try it on these consoles. You should try it on these consoles, bro. You see, that's the thing about it. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Listen, I don't
play with a keyboard and mouse. I never have.
Try it.
Never will.
You should try it.
I have when I was a kid, sick. I don't need it today. I got an elite controller. I don't need it today. The games that I play, I don't need a keyboard and a mouse for. I don't. Well, I don't need it for NBA 2K.
Oh, no. Listen. No. But come on, man. That's an obvious example. Those are obvious examples. Come on, man. You're cheating with that one.
Right. The games that I play, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it for Forza. I don't need it. I'm an arcade dude.
Yeah.
I'm an arcade dude. That's like going to the arcade trying to bring a keyboard and mouse into the dungeon. You know what's going to happen to you.
You're going to get beaten up with that keyboard. And go down with that mouse cord.
Right.
But I'm saying, no, listen to what I'm saying.
I was born on the big screen. I don't play on a little screen. I was born on it. I was born to use my
screens that most people had TVs in their house back then.
Facts. I grew up on the tube TV.
For tryharders? Okay. Now listen, hold on. There's some ignorance going on here. No, listen.
I'm not listening to the ignorance, Tech. Don't listen to it. Look, I grew up on the 480p tube TV, where you can sit and watch TV all the way up here, and it never hurts your eyes.
And your parents would tell you it would, but you still hear. You see everything in there, pretty blind as hell.
Yeah, that's
watching TV in the dark.
That was the phrase. Stand back from the TV or you're gonna be blind. That was the phrase we grew up.
Legal is a try harder. You know why? Because he competes. That's somebody who tries. I don't know.
I used to love bodying. Look, man, I was in that beta. When Gears 4 came out. And people think that, we proved to them. We whooped those PC gamers because you can't come to Gears with a mindset, I never played it. But because I got a keyboard and mouse, I'm going to dominate. Doesn't work that way. We proved it. And it doesn't, look, and this is not a jab at keyboard and mouse players. There's some, dude, there's some.
It sort of kind of is. This is why I can interject.
Look, how is it a jab when I'm saying I don't use it? So I can't.
No, because it's the other things that saying around.
I play on keyboard and mouse and it's garbage. That's never came out of my mouth.
No, you're not saying that. No.
I said I don't have a reason for it, and I don't play video games.
Hey, Keyman, that gold star is LG. Lucky Gold Star. That's what LG stands for. That's Gold Star.
That's true.
That's called marketing.
Now, but it was Lucky Gold Star.
Yeah.
I learned that from Sick. I'm acting like I always knew that.
We were discussing that the other day.
Right.
I'm bringing up now to say that. Yeah. So a lot of people.
Back in the day when Sony was running rampant with the Walkman and all.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing about it. Listen, there's fake PC gamers, right, who got the console gamers upset because they're talking crap to you guys, right? I get that. Right? Killer Tune, I got you. Just hold on.
Well, see, hold on, real quick. Hold on, Tech. There's a guy called Killer Tone, all right? Killer Tone 47 says, I have a gaming PC, and I play on the PC since I was 11 years old. He's different.
Right.
See, it's
You're
people
a real
like
PC
him
gamer.
that I would listen to. Because
he doesn't refer to himself as PC Master Race, ever.
It's people like him that I would listen to when they talking about their PC experience. Because just like he was born on that PC, I was born in arcades. He knows his PC. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get down on it. So he's a real PC gamer. People like him, that's who I listen to. I don't listen to cats that are just getting a PC today and then start trying to tell us, it's better because, and then they can't even tell you why it's better. Then you ask them, hey, where's your gameplay? And they don't show you. They take a picture of their laptop, or they take a picture of their monitor, and you're like, dude, you ain't even show me your game. Real PC gamers play their games. If he's playing that game on a mouse and keyboard, more power to you. We got people with special needs that are limited in their body functions who play on the adaptive controller. Okay? Am I gonna sit here and diss the adaptive controller? No.
Okay, see, and this is why. Okay, the realist 91. Okay, listen. What you're saying is what a lot of upset, and I don't mean this as an insult. I'm gonna break it down. Upset console gamers are saying. Listen to me. The PC gamers that have you feeling that kind of way about the PC are not real PC gamers. That's first and foremost. Get that in your mind. This is very serious. Killer Tone is more like a traditional PC gamer who's been there.
Look what he's saying. Look what Killer Tone's saying. Repeat him, Sid. People need to hear
the Series X the most. It's my main. Just like me. I'm trying to defend PC here to keep things even keel because there's a lot of misconceptions.
Right.
144 hertz mouse and keyboard, right? And it's mainly for competitive. But listen to me. So realish. I'm not trying to unlock you, but you're a really perfect example of what a lot of console gamers are saying. Absurd things now because of fake PC gamers have been talking that crap to you. Listen, if you're a console dude, that's your lane. Stick with that lane. Don't worry about what PC gamers, real or fake, are saying. It's not about that, my dude. Listen close. Both platforms are increasingly affecting each other, particularly because of what Xbox is doing. The reason I even brought this up, you're not literally upset, but that's not what I'm saying. But what console, particularly these PlayStation fanboys, are trying to say, they're trying to discount the value of the Xbox, or to say it's not even worth being around because you can just play on PC. This is how they, excuse, this whole bullshit that they say about Xbox has no games for this many days. It's all types of garbage. They have to go out of their way to make certain rules as to why certain things don't count to make their point, right? And there's PC master cheaters, like there's no cheaters on console. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Modern Warfare 2, in its life, before any sequel game came out from Treyarch or even Modern Warfare 3 in 2 years, right? There were active cheaters in the game. You go into a room, they can max out your level or drop you down to 0. And in case you might have forgotten about that, when it became backwards compatible a couple years ago on the Xbox, and a lot of people went back to it for a little bit, they got quickly reminded of that. And no PC is involved in any of that stuff. So that's another thing that console dudes like to say against PC. Another thing they say is that they
it's true, Sig. You can't use that small percentage to rectify the fact. That's a very small percentage of chances that the PC players don't hack nothing or don't cheat on their game.
Even our boy Legal here is saying it. But as I'm telling you, you're wrong, Legal. I've been there, done that. Not that cheaters don't exist. Modern Warfare 2007 on PC, you know why that was a cheating fest? It had no protection. No protection.
Facts.
If you want to see my face, you can see it on Saturday.
On State of Decay 2, right? On State of Decay 2. How do we get all those secret guns and all that unlimited ammo and all that unlimited health? Didn't come from the console, Sig.
Well,
because it was what?
It
was PC compatible, and
that's
my friends from Canada from PC gave me all those guns, and I loved it.
What I'm telling you though is, console gamers like to state it like every PC player is getting banned.
Right.
There are lots of console players getting banned too. Even Killer Tone said it. 100,000 players got
stereotype. Right, that's a lot. Right, but look, that's what I'm saying to say. But listen, stereotyping anything is wrong. Fact.
That's my point. That's my point.
Everybody, that's wrong.
No, but yeah, you funny. But
right, but you're right. If somebody's out there, whatever.
I like tacos too. I almost fall into
If people think that every PC gamer cheats, then yeah, that's too far.
Every PC gamer is pirating, but meanwhile, the top games that are on console when they come to PC, all of a sudden they selling like crazy. Like what's that new game from PlayStation that that biker game with the zombies?
Oh, Days Gone.
Days Gone. Now it's blowing up. Just like
because they don't
Halo and many games before that. Because PC gamers actually do buy games.
It's gonna blow up.
But it's all stereotypes. It's all stereotypes. And that's my overall point. So I like the fact that you said that. However, remember, if you're a console dude, you already say you don't care about none of that stuff anyway. You automatically don't care what PC dudes do. But the funny thing is, those aren't PC gamers, because real PC gamers wouldn't even be discussing
They
that.
wouldn't even be discussing that. Exactly.
So all these dudes who are saying all that stuff, listen, you already say you're a console person and you don't care about PC. So just be that. That's what you said. Stop making all these excuses and stereotypes about it for something you automatically
right.
that you already said that you don't care about anyway.
Here's where it's at, right? Nothing that anybody's going to say is going to change the features of the Xbox Series X.
Right.
It's going to change the quality of what they're doing. Look, every PC guy is not playing at the highest quality of PC that the PC gaming community can provide for them either. It just is what it is. People want to when you're not feeling secure about what you have, and I understand it, you don't have quick resume, you have none of these features. So the PC community is like,
PC doesn't even have quick resume.
We can't get them with visuals anymore. We can't get them with frame rates anymore. But the thing that always confuses me is,
and a lot of money.
Why did that ever matter with y'all? You play your PC games. Show the proudness. Show the greatness of PC gaming. That's what
they always have. But they don't. Okay, and most PC gamers have average rigs. The high-end is a minority.
That's why they don't want to show it.
No, it's not even that. Listen, as console gamers.
But Sick, watch my point.
You're not in those communities anyway, so you don't see or care.
Facts, but here's my point.
PC gamers love to show off their rigs.
But
just look it up. You'll see all types of custom cases and fans. You guys have seen them.
Games, but they love to show the UFO.
Word.
Facts, but here's
they need to show off their Steam account. That's what they need to do.
Just show your gaming, like Killer Tone. I don't care. Killer Tone been playing these forever. Hey man, show me that you're having a good time, and then tell me about what you're playing. Tell me about your experience, right? I don't care. Like, if you have a graphic card that's only doing 1080p, 60 frames, I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Like, that should not matter. Like, play your games, man, and show that you're having fun.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, really, at the end of the day. That's all
that really matters. Right.
Because we can't say, one thing we can't say about PCs, they're garbage. And, they're not off the top garbage components, right? They're customizable situations. So it's not like the PC's garbage. It's the guy or the girl that's creating it that didn't create it up to expectations. Sucker. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the facts. But people can build great PCs. They can build great gaming PCs to play games on, and they can adjust their frame rates and their visuals and all that good stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
My thing is this:
you don't care about none of that.
It's just this, and really it comes down to what you're comfortable. Because for me, just give me a gaming device, move out of my way. That's console.
And it's exactly what Louis L. just said. Console gamers ain't got time for that nonsense. We're too busy playing our games and trying to beat them, especially with Game Pass growing. That's the fact. That's what I'm saying. Stay out that PC lane talk. If it's not your lane, just stay out of it. And don't make these fake ones piss you off.
Nah, you guys get out my lane. This is my lane, sucker.
And a lot of them are cracking jokes trying to get at me or whatever and think I'm getting upset. I'm just letting you guys know. This is all jokes to me. Like, all these fake PC gamers are all clowns.
You're right. Okay? It's sick.
Yeah, get out of my lane before I grab my pipe, knock you over the head.
The reason why they have to do all of that is because you have to assemble it. Like you can't just throw PCs together.
People come out and play.
Or you buy it.
PC people come out and play.
Or you buy it from Dell and pay too much.
And pay that exactly. Buy it already put together for you, and then they just mail it to you. But my ultimate point, Sick, and we'll get off this topic, right?
Yeah.
Sucker.
It's the fact that when you build yourself a PC, it is not just built for gaming.
Right.
See what I'm saying? There's so much more I can do with my PC. Unlike with my console, I can't send fax. I can't hook up a fax machine to my console or a printer. you know, and maneuver office work from my console. I can do that for my PC. I can add more components to it. I can put more entities and attachments to it because a PC is a personal computer. Its first priority is not video games. When PC was built, it wasn't built on running video games. It was built to run data. It was built to run information. It was built to store files, you know, things like that. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was built for informational purposes. That's what the PC was built for. When consoles were built, they were built off the principles of gaming.
Wow, Radiance. Nice job there. Kind of missing the point. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's the only two difference right there. That's why people get it so twisted, sick. And they get so caught up.
Right.
They just gotta understand those principles right there, and they can move on from it.
Right.
Easy.
But they
don't. They
don't. I mean, it's happening in the chat now, you know. But it is what it is. Like
it is what it is. It's like having a transformer, right, Sick? Where I can turn it into a robot, or I can turn it into a vehicle or a plane, right? Mm-hmm. And then I just have a car. Okay. Right. So if I have a car, can I make it fly? No.
Hell yeah! You seen Inspector Gadget?
A car is meant to put its wheels on the road and move, right? But the transformer, he could transform into a car. He could transform into a robot. He can go and hack stuff. It's like a PC. Man,
you seen Inspector Gadget car? That can fly, that can drive, and it can go underwater, man. That's a car.
But to get off all of this, right? But the main reason I was saying all of this was because, like I said, this is really about these PlayStation guys who's trying to discount Xbox by bringing PC into the conversation.
By bringing up PC, exactly.
On PC for games that you guys aren't gonna play on PC because you're not interested in PC. You keep saying, and then you have these stereotypes to try to like
PC suckers.
You guys sound like PlayStation guys sound to you when they speak on Xbox. That's the way y'all sound to me.
What?
I need you to understand that. It's not about
where's that mute button? I'm about to take this sucker.
I play every platform except for the Switch until the Switch Pro come out, right? I got them all right here, right? Except for the PS5
but
as well.
That don't make you, but that doesn't,
but I'm
that
a
doesn't
gamer.
Mean anything sick. If you only play one console, that doesn't insult your intelligence.
Right. But I play everything or nothing. It's up to me and it's up to you, right?
Facts.
But don't sit here and saying all these wild things because you're trying to defend yours. Just stick with yours and you're good. Because there's already enough to battle within yours. You got these PlayStation guys who's misrepresenting the Xbox. It's all jokes, the realist. Right. It's all jokes, but it's also about there's two consoles that are competing, and they got us talking about PC for like half hour now. And I just want to make that one point.
We just want to give PC some love. Just want to give PC some love. That's all.
Right.
Hey, Game Pass is on PC. What I don't want is the fact that
Did you guys see that? Oh, look at that.
What I don't want is that can't feel like they can't talk on any subject. We're gamers. So PC has games. You can talk on it. It's not the fact that, we're just Xbox gamers and you can't put no insight on what goes on in the community. That's all you're doing, man.
Right. No doubt.
No diggity, no doubt.
Do your thing, fam. Do what you do.
Here's something I want to talk about completely, but I think everybody would agree. I think everybody, well, not agree, because I've seen most people have one opinion. I have a slightly different one, but we'll talk about, okay, Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Everybody's talking about how, right? And I get that. Why? Because they're charging you once again for the game when it should just be a free update, like it is on PC, right? Like it has been for countless other games, right? And a lot of people are like, why are they selling it? Because they like money. Is it right? No.
They like this is what they like.
It's sick.
They like this $1 bill.
Grand Theft Auto been on Game Pass.
Grand Theft Auto has been on Game Pass countless times.
They like credit cards.
Right? But if you have it on the One X, right? Or if you have the Xbox One version, that version isn't going to be upgraded for free. You have to pay for it. And that's the thing that really got people pissed off. That, and I think a lot of people are also tired of the fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 is still successful and still making content, and like they're reselling it again, and you think
don't people want that?
It's holding back Grand Theft Auto 6.
Don't people want a game to be that successful that lasts?
Exactly my point. That's the point that I wanted to make. Listen, I understand why people are mad because they're charging again, which should just be a free upgrade, right? Put that aside. I got you, because that's the real point of contention. Because had they just made the upgrade free, I think 90% of this complaining that everybody is doing, and righteously so, would not even be happening, because y'all wouldn't really have too much complaining about. If you're not still playing Grand Theft Auto Online, then who cares to you? If other people are still playing it, that's cool. It's a very successful game, I'm sure y'all know, and it's whatever. It's the fact that they're charging for it, and I feel people need to get their opinions straight before they just start saying, wow, because I'm seeing it from the press, I'm seeing it for all gamers, and you have reason to be upset. They shouldn't be charging for the update, because I like to play the online from time to time. I still have it on my PC, eating up nearly 100.
How much are they charging
for that?
How much are they charging?
Full price, I believe. Full price, I believe. Not 70, but the $60. I think they're doing that again. And this is what gamers are upset about. And rightfully so. And this is not an Xbox thing or a PC thing, because we know it's on all of those consoles and PC, right?
I would have to say that's a little ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, right?
Because look, man. All right. It's not like we haven't supported the game.
Mm-hmm.
The game is well beyond success.
Right.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, you doing this, and it should be for the fun. It should be for the thrill. It should be from the heart of saying, you know what? Let's do something for our fans.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And they make so much money off that game. It should be free to play.
Hold on. Deuce, Criollo.
Yeah, it's more in tune with the PC version. Yeah.
Okay, so explain.
It doesn't need an enhanced edition on PC, because the PC version, listen, that enhanced version that we're going to get on console, right? All those features will come to the PC version as a free update for free. And the reason I bring all this up is because I feel this is a subject we can all talk about, so don't get into this PC thing again. I'm only bringing up PC because it's a game. It's also on PC, right? But it just goes to show who started it. Right, Rockstar is trash. That's my point. Who started this kind of crap? If you've heard me on GRG, and many times we've discussed $70 games, right? It's my opinion, these games cost more and more to make, so they're going to eventually charge more for the games, right? Microsoft decided to do that in a different way with Game Pass and other ways to monetize that doesn't hurt your pockets directly. Sony is like, the hell with that. We're just going to increase the price on all of our first-party games. And Take-Two is the other one. But see, Rockstar, Take-Two, EA, of all the publishers who are releasing games on the next gen right now, those are the three that are releasing games at $70. And not even EA is really doing it to most of their games. They're doing it to select games, not every game, right? Take-Two and Rockstar and what's the other one? Activision, right?
Right.
They're the ones who's charging $70. Okay, the next Call of Duty that most people already don't want to play because they're hearing it's going to be World War II. Rest assured that game is going to be $70 for the base version. So a game that a lot of people already are saying before we even know the facts 100%, right? Already are saying that they don't want to get. When it's confirmed that it's the type of game that we don't want to get. And they see
here's my thing. Here's my thing.
That's getting flushed.
Let me be the advocate, or let's say I'll just say I'll be the vulture in the room, right?
Okay.
Let's just say that maybe casuals and don't. Let's put it like this. Let me say this right. maybe casuals can't rule every situation.
Right.
Maybe every game isn't catered to casuals.
Right. That's what
And
Fortnite
we
and
know
them is
that
for.
Call of Duty multiplayer is not casual.
Mhm.
We know Battlefield multiplayer is not casual. Grand Theft Auto multiplayer is not casual.
Started out that way, and then they
This
ruined
is
it.
for right. This is for competitive. This is for the competitors, right? And mind you, that they're all third-party studios. They're not first-party studios. And if they continue to do something that, and I say casuals for a reason, because casuals are not going to run out and support. They're going to wait around for things to drop. That's why they're called casuals. But if they cater to the hardcore, more elite to pro players, right, then they don't mind paying the extra $70 to keep going doing something that they're doing. They don't mind it because that's the only game that they're pretty much playing. And I'm trying to let y'all know something. I know this for a fact because when you're ranked and you're playing to maintain your status, you don't go around playing other games. I know this for a fact. I was on Gears 3 for almost 4 years because I wanted to stay right in that top 10, no matter what. And when you do this, you go and you buy the next thing. You'll buy the next thing. You'll buy the next thing. Because when you think about it, I'm not spending my money on multiple games.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if that game comes out with a $70 version 4 years down the road. I'm still playing that one game. So $70 out of 4 years don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
I'm just letting people know the mindset.
And most casuals are like that. Yeah.
Right. So they have a big enough audience where they know, okay, we're about to enhance this or do this and do that. So we're going to throw a $70 out. They have a big enough audience that supports it. So that's why to just a normal gamer who's just looking at it like, man, I don't know why they did it. Well, you don't put time into it.
You don't spend that money. And even if you see it as wrong and you see it as a free update and you're not cool with that.
It should be free.
Right. Man,
that's all I'm saying, people.
And it should be, but listen.
Right.
If that's
I'm
what
not
you
disagreeing, right. I'm not
disagreeing. Your wallet, basically.
Jive, sucker.
Exactly. Here's what hear me out.
Nah.
I'm not disagreeing that it should be free, okay? But that's my opinion, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. Don't act like if you're a casual on that game, you're not putting those hours in, you're just going to go up in that multiplayer and love to lose every day. You're not fooling me. Nobody does that.
Can you dig it?
One way or another, you're paying up.
Get a bunch of casuals to flood your community. That means now they got to worry about when you pop up.
Yep.
You start changing You start changing the dynamics.
Wow.
Too fast.
Wow.
But you're trying.
That wasn't my production, man. That was all him.
Because the servers, have to adjust. We saw Timefall. When more and more people stopped listening to the haters and they started jumping on Timefall back in the day, back in 2014, the servers had to adjust. Remember that?
Oh, I'm going to give you a better example.
You knew instantly when somebody didn't know how to play the game. But it was a flood of them.
I'm going to give you a better example.
Right, what happened? We didn't have enough time to teach them because they got mad because they were getting killed and they left.
Killed, yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
That's what happened. So they know that. Yeah. So they're not even thinking about, we're going to hurt certain people's feelings. Well, if you're not putting in that work, they already know if they put it out, it's not going to benefit nothing. They know this just because of the history of it. They know this stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a perfect example of what you're talking about there. See, if you remember Xbox Live and PlayStation on the original Xbox and even, the online that they had with the PlayStation, right? If you were playing, let's say, an FPS game, we'll keep it simple then, right? What kind of system did they have back then with the multiplayer? Lobby systems, right? You went searching for a game, show you a list of games. They could be 12 people in a room, right? And that's what you went into. By the time Halo 2 came out, it was different. Did they have lobbies and a thing you could search? Yeah, sure. but it was already changing from what Xbox Live and even the PlayStation Online used to be in the beginning. Because back then, it was more of what they did on PC, where it was just, you know, a room and there was a host. He can kick people out, invite people, and lock the room, all that stuff. But when Halo 2 came out, it was very different. It was more like you had a couple of people who teamed up in a lobby, and then you went searching for a game, just like in Call of Duty and everything else. But there are a lot of old school people who still remember those days. Because if you wanted to practice with your friends, you could open a lobby, invite everybody you want, lock the room, right? And play on each side. You could put, you know, half the squad on Team A and the other squad on Team B, and y'all could play against each other in private matches and stuff like that. We lost all that functionality more than 10 years ago. Can you dig that, suckers?
That's true.
And but that's because they have to attract more casuals who don't have all these friends online because they're not hardcore enough. They just want to play, and they're probably not even communicating.
Can I just play with you guys?
You know how I know?
Can I play with you guys? I just want to play for fun.
And you know how I know you're telling the truth, Sick? Because that's what happened with Gears. Gears 4 had to transform itself. We as veterans, we didn't like it. And they didn't listen to us. And they had to
because you're a minor group, sucker.
They had you gotta pass me whatever it is you're smoking, Tech.
They had to do things and change things up to welcome new players, right?
Yep.
And we didn't like it. So they kept hounding it to the point where we got off.
You know what I just heard?
When we got off,
I don't like it.
It allowed a new group of people to come in and get involved into the Gears community. And when they saw that, they slowly started inching things back to how the veterans would play the game. And then when the veterans started saying, okay, you know what? They're bringing this back. Let's get back in. Cool. There was a slow mixture of, hey, this guy's a rookie. He wants to learn how to play. Let's get him on our team. Let's teach him the ropes. Mm-hmm. You know, they started putting escape in. They put different things in that most people wouldn't even play. Now you got people that are learning how to play Gears through escape. They learn how to cover shoot. They know how to shoot blindly. They know how to run. They know how to, it's just little things that get you going. Then eventually they find out that the multiplayer is real fun. So now you've built a community. Now you can go back. You see it on Gears 5. Now they're bringing everything back. The gameplay is back. Mm-hmm. They're bringing a lot of characters in. They're changing the things. They're changing dynamics up. They took 5 players out, put 4 players in, which, you know, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It did, that part didn't make sense to me, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's thriving now. Now, Gear 6 can be something. If they do it right, they can have a new community. A mix of old and new. And that's the challenge when you're doing multiplayer, right? Because Sig has a point. You have to know how to grow eventually. You can't keep catering to your veterans because there's
you guys
only a certain
get old and die.
There's only a certain number. You know?
And it's about to get to a whole nother level too. Because remember, because on Xbox, like a game, let's say Call of Duty, right? Because we could say Gears, but let's say a game that's multi-platform and cross-play once again, like Call of Duty. So if it was just Gears, it would be Xbox, PC, and the cloud, right? But when you add PlayStation, it's basically the same thing. Console, PC, and cloud, right? All different types of controls, all different types of internet, all different types of connection speeds, right? Where if you have 5G that's really good and your connection is really solid, it's still not going to be as good as a console at home or a PC at home on the Wi-Fi,
it's
right? And if you're using your console on the Wi-Fi, run you a damn cable, you lazy bum. I don't care. Oh, you can't run. There are ways to skin that cat. There's power adapters, there's Mocha, there's all different ways. So if you have a console or a PC that you can plug it in. Get off the Wi-Fi. And this is a public service announcement from myself and all real
get on my
gamers.
Wi-Fi lane.
We're trying to play games.
Get on my Wi-Fi lane,
and you're lagging
brother.
you're lagging up the game, and you're making it
if you don't like
for
my
everybody,
lag,
no matter
get
what.
out of my room.
So now I'm about to throw the wrench in it. I'm about to throw the wrench in all of this.
All right.
What's up with Ratchet? That's the funny part, right? Because I throw in a wrench. So what's up with the Ratchet and all the clank noise I'm hearing? That this thing is now a console exclusive. What happened, Sig? What happened, Tech? I thought it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Now there's a lot of confusion running around. So once again, do we think PC is going to play a big part? Do we actually see what we've been saying all these years, that, hey, you guys don't support hard enough in your wallet for Sony to continue to depend on you with their 1 or 2 exclusive games a year? That theory is dying.
So I'm like completely lost on that, because I saw the picture of the wording, and what's going over my head?
They're console exclusive. That means the only console you could play this game on is PlayStation, but not the only platform you could play it on.
Because Tech,
PS4?
If it Tech, you gotta look at it like this.
Well, PlayStation.
There would be no reason. There would be no reason to say console exclusive if it's a console exclusive. You don't say that. They when they first came out, it said a PlayStation 5 exclusive. That's how you say it. But once you say console exclusive, that means only on this console. So it can be on PC.
Techno.
It can be on another device.
Right.
But it won't be on a Switch. It won't be on an Xbox. It won't be on a
3DO. Right. It won't be on 3DO.
So it's not coming on PlayStation 4. Man, sucker.
Well,
now,
maybe not that game, but yeah.
Right. So now it's looking like the game is going to PC.
Right.
And I know
if it is,
we all
I would
know
totally
that,
get it on PC.
Yeah, me too. But here's the thing. Tech, at the very beginning of the show, you kept talking about how all the narratives that they had one by one. And you notice, well, actually, a lot of these narratives were made by these donkeys that you see on Twitter, right? It's not actually Sony.
Right.
Except for Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan did say things like he believes.
Yeah, he said some stuff, but
he said something. But Sony as a whole didn't really. Right. Yeah. Jim Ryan. Well, he needs to shut up. And before he says something stupid to a level of a Don Matrick. Don't let Phil Jim Ryan become your Don Matrick.
Yeah, fact.
Take that from an Xbox head. You don't want that.
Close, man.
But the thing about it is, these donkeys out here have been constructing all these narratives, and they've been destroyed one by one because they never understood what they were talking about in the first place to create a narrative that would survive through the times as things change, which they should have foreseen. You follow me? So now, when Xbox first said that they were going to support last gen for another 2 years or so, whatever they said. That's obvious. That's what happens every generation. Because once again, with those casuals, they're not going to jump in at that initial price. They're going to jump in when prices have dropped once or twice. When there's a selection of games to pick from. Plus, it's hard to get a system anyway.
Yeah.
For regular people, hardcore gamers have to put in work and effort to acquire a console. Xbox or PlayStation, right? So this is not for these casuals. So all these narratives that they've made up, this is another one. And if you notice, Sony never co-signed any of these narratives. And this is one of the last of them. Where
but Sony put fire to them. They added more wood to burn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Saying stupid stuff throughout the years. Like PlayStation 3 is going to be 120 frames. Yeah. Makes you a better gamer. God of War makes you a better dad. They said
these make you a better dad.
This is how you lend out your games.
Fuels their ignorance. It fuels their stupidity. These are just facts.
Right. So now Sony's making the moves that they make every generation where they support their older console for a while because it's at 120 million plus. Like, why would you stop making games for that? Stupid. Now is the time you eat. This is the time you eat. You invested. Now you making the bag off of your investment in that system. Where there's so many people, even if they only get a couple of games, because we've talked about their shit attach rate before, right? But even that at 120 million plus, you're gonna make some like a game that sells 8 million is a profit. And if it's not, that's your fault for being in the wrong business and not knowing what you're doing, making a game that's not going to be profitable after you sell 8 million copies. But you look at all that, you look at the situation, the things that Sony are doing are the things they always did that any console maker does when they had a previous gen and they're coming into the next gen. A lot of the new games that you see, or if it's a sequel of a past franchise, are going to have multiple versions. What, you think that Battlefield 6 isn't going to be on the Xbox One and PS4? You think this next Call of Duty isn't going to be on the Xbox? Well, actually, I think they said maybe not this one. See, unless they come out and say, don't think that. But once again, as gamers, you should already know, too, that it will be a slow progression, like with Call of Duty, where, you know, they'll come out and say, we're drawing the line here. We're not making it for the last gen anymore. With this franchise anymore. And this will be the first entry in that franchise to do so, right? They've done that in the past. That's what you should be used to as a gamer, already know that. So these PlayStation donkeys will come out and saying all this crap, you know, when Microsoft said that they would be supporting for 2 years. Microsoft was just telling you what you should already know as a gamer. Nice. And they're being forthright and honest with what their plans is over time, because that's what was always done, and they shouldn't even have told you. You should have already known. But then Sony comes out sometime later and said 4 years, and the only reason it's an L for Sony is because you donkeys were out here running your mouths on stupid thing that real gamers would have already known is how they do, because that's only business 101. Why would you stop supporting a system that already has sold the majority of what it's going to sell and is still active in users' hands, because the casuals aren't going to be crossing over for another couple years, right? And Sony must have been smarter than Microsoft when it comes to this, because they said 4 years, because they see the writing on the wall. That's going to take time for that PS5 to get a user base.
You're right.
To become the focus, man. Even at a lower number. Like, Sony didn't lie, but you see that, but it's an L for you because you constructed this whole idiotic narrative. This is how shit always goes down. How you didn't see it, man, I don't know. But I mean, am I saying anything that's not even just obvious truth if you just sit back and think?
It's too obvious.
It's nothing about, you know, announcements and public service announcements that this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It always happens this way. Like, but these kids just don't know, bro. Apparently, I really don't think. And it's funny. The other day, I was watching a YouTube video, and this kid identified himself as a PlayStation gamer because he started on PlayStation. The first game he played was San Andreas. Yo, I'm 41 years old.
Damn, you old sucker.
But in terms of that game, I'm multiple generations past him. For him to his first game be San Andreas, his perception of things is so different. Yo, Legal, I'm gonna drop this knowledge to you in a different way that's gonna be more up your lane as an arcade gamer. You came up out the arcades, right?
Right.
That was Asteroids, right? No, first there was Space War, then Asteroids, then Space, and then Galaga, then Defender. Defender has 5 different buttons. Right? And that was over time that would be considered a generation, and not just within one genre of game, right? That time span of Space War to Defender is like 2 generations for these console gamers now. And that's evolution of just how a style of game was done back then.
You're right, man.
And
exactly
I really don't think they understand.
Oh man, he's getting upset, bro.
No,
oh man, he's walking around just stomping. That's what he's doing. Oh man.
No.
Oh, that's not good. I don't know, man, but it looks like we're hitting a 2-hour mark, man.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there because, you know, all these narratives, you just have to look at it like that.
Stop trying to rush this, man.
I gotta
poop,
poop,
no
man.
Sense, and it's because, you know, their narrative never did.
I can't hold this turtle anymore.
Let you go.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, it's sick. You're right. Everything you said was right, man. And it's just it's crazy how to me it's laughable because it's funny how all Xbox has to do is be successful for the whole entire gaming industry to do cartwheels. It doesn't have to do anything but be successful, and it's just changing up everything. So look, man, we got Ascent coming out in July. Flight Simulator coming out this summer. We got Biomutant next week?
I think here's one.
Games are coming.
I think
you got Mass Effect out. You got Resident Evil out.
I think Stalker's going to come out in August.
Stalker, yeah.
Stalker. Halo Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man. And you know what? You know what's funny? They might even present the games that they said they're gonna drop without us even knowing it at E3. They might just say boom and start dropping dates.
Boom.
How many
What
games
if
will
they
be at
do that?
E3?
What if they just start dropping dates and say, hey, this game's coming out, boom, this.
Yeah.
Boom.
Here's the thing. They have so much, and it's already happening now. Every month there's a big game on Xbox.
Man, if they come out with
Pass,
one,
right?
That's right.
Starfield, Crossfire.
if they come out with a game
They
every
literally-
other month, I'm fine with that.
Not every other month. They're gonna have one every month of the games
No,
you
that's
already know
too
about.
much.
There's
That's too
stuff-
much.
No, of all the
It's
games
gonna
that
be at least
of all the
every 3
games
to
we
4
already
months.
know about, that's possible.
It's gonna
Already,
be 3 to
it's in
4
that
games a year.
lane.
Scorn. We keep forgetting about
3 to 4
Scorn.
games a year easy.
Scoring, yes, another one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so
Fantasy Star Online New
hot.
Genesis. I was playing the closed beta over the weekend.
Scorn's
Loving
gonna
it.
be- It's gonna be hot.
Fact. And in the meantime, people, don't ever forget that this is your year. If you've been with Xbox
year.
for 20 years, this is the
Be jumping
20th
out of your
anniversary
lane.
year
Stay
of
in your
Xbox.
lane. Yeah.
We have everything to be excited
Stay in your
about.
lane. Suckle.
Everything.
Don't let the
let
jive
nobody
turkeys
steal your joy
get
about
you down.
Xbox, man. Because this is your year. Get out there, keep showing people you're having fun. Get out there, show people you're playing these games. And look, no matter what, they can't change that experience, right? Some of you guys already have brand new TVs. Some of you guys are already playing at 4K 20. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys are already doing that. And so if you're doing that already, you're ahead of the game. You already know what it's like being in that true next generational gaming. And that's good stuff. Oh, yeah, man. Disregard wifey, man. She did that on purpose.
Nah, my kids are like yelling
But-
downstairs and they're crying too. You don't
But
hear
we don't
them?
hear
You
them. We
I
don't hear them, bro. You good. You gotta go feed them kids, man. We gotta get out of here.
I got poop.
Check it out. SIKSLAYER, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yo, you can find me same name on every game platform except Nintendo for now. You can find me on Twitter.
numbers.
You can find me on GRG every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and on that Dragon's Den podcast Saturdays.
God, this
7
guy has a
p.m.
job, like
on
5
Runaway Dragons
jobs.
TV.
Like,
Facts. You everywhere, man.
I'm not Jamaican, but and we know a little something like that. That's hate.
Check them out.
man, you can find It's Tech at Teknoblast on every platform. Yep. Simple as that. Teknoblast.
Yo, it's the new legal. You can find me on every platform. Every platform. I don't care what
Yeah.
it is. You can
And if
find me on the
if I'm not
Atari
on
all
that
the way up.
platform, make me one, and I'll be on it.
Facts. Facts. The new legal. You can find me on every platform, every social media feed, any device, anything, any console, any device, any monitor screen. Just go check us out, man. I hope you guys and girls and people all across the world
Wait a minute.
enjoyed the show today. We just want to say we can't thank y'all enough. Salute to the chat room as always. Those are our people. If you were new coming here today, welcome you in. Please, if you like what we're about, hit that subscribe button.
Jeremy, YouTube
hit
had
that
issues.
notification bell. Make it ring, baby. Bing, bing, bing all day long. Select it so when we get on here, you don't miss out. Have some fun in the chat room. Kick it with us, man. We do everything we can to alert people, let us know. Some 99.99% our show goes well. We just had a hiccup yesterday, but
YouTube was acting up.
Facts. But thanks to SIKSLAYER for coming in, man. He always brings the energy. He always comes in and just wants to kick it with us. And like I say, he does this, and like he's one of many others that done it along with him. It's just to show that at any time you may not have a platform, you are more than welcome as an Xbox fan to come up on Di-RREC Gaming and talk your Xbox talk. As long as you are cut clean, you're not making fun of nobody, jabbing at anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you carry yourself with some good integrity like the Xbox community does. You're more than welcome to always show up here and do it. It ain't got to just be us 3. We can have up to 6, 10. We can wild out, do whatever, man. But I'm just so humble to be a part of this gaming community, the best gaming community. I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all because I come from the ashes, man. And we are here because of you guys. So thanks y'all once again for coming out. Remember, keep it Xbox gaming, keep it gaming in general. Run fast, man. You got to work hard like Pac-Man. Grab that extra man in life, y'all. You'll never regret it. Jeremy Merchant all the way from Australia in the building. And until next time, y'all, it's the new legal Teknoblast, SIKSLAYER, representing Di-RREC Gaming. We out of here. Hold it down, y'all.